Susan Gardner here from Municipal World. We're at the 2019 Transforming Local Government Conference in Reno, Nevada. Joining me in our media center is John Slaughter, County Manager for the County of Washoe. Welcome, John.
Welcome. Thanks. Welcome to Washoe County.
Thank you. So we've been here a few days now. We came in a couple days early to check out some of the neighborhoods and do some of the tours. And we were interested to see a lot of the exciting development that seems to be happening in the area.
There is a lot happening in Washoe County, Northern Nevada, as we call it, because it's really a 5-county area that we are involved with. But Washoe County is our largest in the northern part of the county, the northern part of the state.
So some of the development that is going on in the area, there's a lot of technology stuff happening.
There really is. So many years ago, Apple, in relationship to what's been happening, Apple was really our first entree. Apple came to us and they put a data center just east of town, east of Sparks, which is just to the east of Reno. And that kind of kicked off some interest, I think, from some other technology companies to take a look. Got their attention when Apple showed up.
Wow. Of course, Tesla is out there in the desert now, and we had a chance, someone from our team toured that, and I was out to the Switch data center as well. Very impressive, substantial kinds of developments that we're seeing there, along with some retail warehousing and that kind of stuff. So how has all that's obviously different land use than has been out there in the past? Those are traditionally ranch lands.
It is. So the area you're talking about is what we call the Tri-Center. I mean, it's actually in Story County, which is our neighboring county. It's actually the largest industrial park in the world. I can't remember their acreage. Their acreage is actually larger than the city of Reno. So the developers there started off with that vision in mind. They initially attracted a lot of, like you said, a lot of retail, warehousing and those sorts of things. And then, as I said, when Apple came, and Apple's not in that center, they're a little bit to the north. When Apple came to town, I think that got a few people interested to come look at what's happening in northern Nevada, Reno, Washoe County, Story County, and then Tesla showed some interest. Our governor was extremely instrumental in landing them coming. As as you know, it was a national competition really to bring Tesla to your hometown at the time, and the state of Nevada, I think it was $1.3 billion tax incentives that were included in that package, largest certainly Nevada's ever seen. It may approach records nationally, but once Tesla came on board, then the floodgates just kind of opened up.
Wow. So those kinds of changes, economic development that really every community dreams of.
Right.
What sort of land use planning collaboration? Obviously, it has regional impacts. Was there efforts to work on this regionally together?
There is, of course. Initially, we were in competition with Story County on trying to land Tesla in Washoe County versus Story County. Story County, as I said, had sort of a head start with the development of the Tri-Center, and so for all various reasons, Tesla decided on the Tri-Center. But a lot of times I was asked, weren't you upset that happened? And if today it's obvious, no, we weren't upset that happened. Tesla coming, the partnership we now have with Story County, with all 5 of our counties, we're involved in a group, the Economic Development Authority of Western Nevada. We're all partners in that. They really are the ones who are spearheading all of the recruitment of those industries and those companies coming to town. We sit at the table monthly and talk about those recruitments, and we all are really working well together in that arena.
That's fantastic. So it's kind of a great example, I think, of how you move from that idea of competition with your neighbors to collaboration and realizing greater benefits by working together.
Absolutely, and because I can remember when the Tri-Center was first being discussed, and it was kind of an idea. There was a lot of competition. In fact, there was a dispute in the early part about sales tax and who was going to get the benefit of the sales tax. Once we were able to put all those kind of discussions aside and just say, you know what, we're talking about Northern Nevada. We're really trying to attract those jobs, those companies to Northern Nevada. That's when things really started going very well for us all. In Northern Nevada, in 2008, the Great Recession, we were extremely hard hit, just like everyone. But I think we topped some lists during that time, and we were really looking for a way to turn that. Northern Nevada, Reno has always been known as a kind of a gambling destination, and at times that was a little difficult to get over. But I think we've turned that corner as well. Gambling is still a part of Reno, Northern Nevada, but really technology is something that we have skyrocketed on as far as kind of being known for that.
That's fantastic. And I think we've seen, too, a little bit of the arts and culture that has, do you think they're connected? Are they connected?
Absolutely, they're connected. We have, so in July, Reno hosts an event called Art Town. The entire month of July, I think there's over 500 different exhibits, performances, concerts, those sorts of things. And there's a partnership now. I mentioned EDON. EDON has partnered with the arts community. So as EDON is out recruiting companies to come to town, they're side by side talking about those kinds of that kind of lifestyle that we have here as well. That arts is really a part of Northern Nevada.
That's fantastic. So Burning Man also
yes,
we've heard here.
We have to mention Burning Man. Reno.
For those that don't know, what is Burning Man?
So Burning Man is an event that occurs in the month of August. It's a week-long event that attracts artists. It attracts all sorts of people to come. 75,000 people. It's actually a very interesting event because they start on the playa, which, if you're not familiar with that, it's a dry lake bed. So there's really nothing there. And by the time they open the gates, there's an entire city there that includes major art installations, multi-story art installations, sculptures, but also beyond that, all of the infrastructure that's needed to support that amount of people. So really, I think it's touted as during that event, it's like the 6th largest city in Nevada.
It's incredible.
They're providing police protection, providing fire protection. There's a hospital there. But during that week-long event, they're really just celebrating art and all sorts of cultural types of activities.
But they still need all the infrastructure that communities of that size require.
They do. And so they do that on the playa, but also we always talk about how Reno, Washoe County is really the dropping off point for Burning Man. So it literally is an international event. It's the busiest week for our airport for all flights, but including international flights. So during that week and the week leading up to it, Reno is a lot of activity as people come into Reno and then go north. It's 2 hours north of Reno where they go to the Burning Man event.
Okay, so local governments. I don't know if you can speak to that, but to what extent do local governments support, integrate into those infrastructure requirements for that event to make it?
For Burning Man?
Yes.
So the support that local governments have during Burning Man, as I said, is sort of the assembly of people coming into town as they move through town, and then when they come back into town. So as I said, they're 2 hours north on the playa. It's a small city, so everything that's taken out to the playa, they are required to bring everything back in. So all of that material, the vehicles, the people, the garbage that's produced, that all has to come back in off of the playa. And so during the weeks afterwards, we're dealing with those sorts of issues with garbage disposal, with car washes, because they're on the playa for a week, and so all of our car washes are busy that week. So it's a very interesting time to be in Washoe County.
There's some interesting spin-offs for the neighboring communities.
There is. There are.
And it's pretty impressive that they're able to put that together for that week-long event and take it away, so there's really no trace.
It is. It's a leave no trace event, and as I said, they set up and build the infrastructure for 75,000 people. I think there's a lot of lessons that we in local government can learn from that. There's, for example, for disaster management and housing, sheltering people. That there's just imagine if you were involved in a mass emergency where you had to shelter 75,000 people. They do that during that event. So there's a lot of lessons we can learn that we watch and we learn from that event.
That's amazing. So all of these things combined result in a pretty significant economic impact. There's also some other impacts, right? In terms of employment, how many people do you think?
Sure. So in 2015, right as Tesla was announcing that they were coming to town, the Economic Development Authority here commissioned a study we call it the EPIC report, and in that report found that from 2015 to 2020, we were expecting from all of the economic activity that was occurring, the region, the 5-county region, was going to grow by some 52,000 people. I think 50-some thousand new jobs coming to the region. So that in itself is, we took pause to say, okay, are we ready for that? What are we going to do? Has implications on all sorts of infrastructure, housing, our road systems, our schools. And so from that point forward, we began planning for that. One example in Washoe County, we started we have a new position that we call our business facilitator, and that position is specifically set up to work with the businesses as these businesses are coming into town, but also working with all of our departments to talk about what needs we need to be watching for. So certainly we have seen in that time, our housing has been strained. We have a shortage of housing. Our developers are having a time keeping up.
It's had a big impact on housing prices.
Had a huge impact. So our business facilitator, that's a big part of their job, is to help developers through that process so they can go from an idea to actually having people moving into their home as quickly as possible, because that's one of our big needs.
So cutting through some of the red tape maybe. Correct. So that we can get from A to
exactly.
Finish home.
That's exactly the purpose of that position, is to help them, sort of a concierge kind of system. Still putting them through all the permits and all the things they need to do, but helping them navigate that system.
That's fantastic to recognize that as being one of the barriers,
right? And
putting the things in place to make it happen. What else do you have going on here?
So one of the things I wanted to really talk about and sort of highlight was a program we're calling the Art Trail. So Washoe County, I talk about Burning Man being some 2 hours north. That's still part of
It's quite a hike.
Part of Washoe County.
Yeah.
And even 4 more hours north of that is the Oregon border. So Washoe County is a very large county. There are a lot of cultural activities, a lot of art and history. So partnering with Burning Man, Washoe County we've developed what we're calling the Art Trail. And it's more of a virtual trail. And so along that 200-mile course, you'll be able to stop and see art, cultural areas, historic areas. It's all tied in through, as I said, those 2 anchor pieces that we're really excited about it. It's for Washoe County, it's really our first entree into public art. The city of Reno did a fantastic job with public art. You may have seen the Space Well downtown.
Special map they had prepared with all the installations.
So city of Reno's done a great job. City of Sparks has done a great job with that. So now Washoe County's kind of up in the game, and a 200-mile long trail of art, culture, and history.
Wow, that's fantastic. Sounds like it will be a very rich experience for tourists that make that trip. People coming to visit.
It's absolutely going to be that. We're excited about it.
Sounds like a reason that I perhaps have to come back
Must come back.
See the rest of the trail.
We're ribbon cutting in July of this year as a part of the Art Town event for the installation in just west of Reno, and then, as I said, in the future we'll have that installation north of Reno.
Okay. Fantastic. So is there information available online now for people who are interested in learning about it?
There is. Certainly you can go to the Washoe County website,
okay.
www.washoecounty.us, and just type in Art Trail, and you'll find all the information about the Art Trail.
Well, congratulations to you on the success in the area and all the great stuff that we've seen. It is certainly, from our perspective, changed a lot of our perceptions about what we were going to find when we came out here to Nevada.
That's what we hoped. Sponsoring being host for TLG conference, we hoped that people could come from all over the country, come and see what Reno's about, because we are much more now than just gambling. That's still at our core, but the things that are happening here, we really have transformed over the last several years in Reno.
Well, thanks so much for coming and joining us. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Susan.
I'm Susan Gardner for Municipal World. We share your stories.